A lobster roll while she's in Boston. But every single day this season, Jason Tatum and the Celtics, they've been the favorites to win the NBA championship and become the first team to go back-to-back, alleviate that 7-year itch, Brian Windhorst. But tonight, they welcome in a team that's hot on their heels in the eyes of the odds makers, at least. Nobody has been as close as MVP favorite Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his Oklahoma City squad. And there's much more to this matchup than cloud on the line. When it's all said and done, one of these teams can clinch a playoff spot when the final buzzer sounds. We're counting you down on ESPN.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by DoorDash.
Hey, welcome inside our Los Angeles studio with two of the best teams in the NBA going head-to-head. We had to bring out two of the best voices in the game, Brian Windhorst, Kendrick Perkins. I'm Malika Andrews. And Kendrick, I try usually not to wear the team colors of the teams that we're covering so that I don't appear one way or the other. But I dressed up today because we need to call this the Perk Bowl. We have OKC versus Boston. And you played over 700 games, made 3 NBA finals with these two franchises.
Did I?
Yes, you did, sir. This time around, though, it's
made a lot of money, too.
Been a little bit different, though. There's a lot of basketball left this season, Perk, but it feels like the Thunder and Celtics, they're on a collision course to play for a championship in June. After all, the Thunder, they've dominated throughout the regular season. They've won 42 games by at least 10 points. That is the most by any team through their first 65 games in a season in NBA history. Despite holding an 11-game lead in the West, tonight will serve as a great test for OKC. They face the only other team in the league to rank top 5 in both offense and defensive efficiency this season, and that certainly plays a role in the odds makers seeing these teams facing off again in June. ESPN Bet Sportsbook has the Thunder and the Celtics as the most likely NBA Finals matchup. They're the favorites to win their conferences. So, Wendy, all signs point to this being a potential Finals preview. That's what the odds makers say. I care what you say.
Well, this is the third showcase game the Celtics have had in Boston in the last 2 weeks. You had the Cavs come in a couple weeks ago. We saw Jason Tatum put up 46 in that game. They ended up blowing a big lead. Donovan Mitchell ended up being the hero. Over the weekend, the Lakers were in town. Jason Tatum with another 40-point game. So what does he have in store today against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Now, I should point out, Shai has an amazing streak going. 59 consecutive games of at least 20 points or more. I don't know if that's going to get broken tonight, but I don't think the Celtics are going to want to let him get up to 40. Because without Jalen Williams in this game, I expect Boston at some point to go to double teams like we saw with the Denver Nuggets earlier this week when they beat the Thunder. And I expect them to force somebody else besides Shai to try to beat them tonight.
By the way, that streak that Shai has of 59 straight 20-point games, it's the longest since Kevin Durant in 2015-16, Perk.
Look, we could see these two teams in the finals, but let's live in the moment.
Okay,
all right,
I like
the moment is it's one of them. This is one of these games for SGA when it comes down to MVPs. He's been great 2 consecutive seasons, averaging over 30, shooting over 50% from the field. He's been Prince. He's been that great. Purple Rain, right? 25 million copies. But damn it, tonight I need him to start something different. The stage is set. I need him to be Michael Jackson. I need him to drop Thriller tonight, 70 million copies, right? To set the bar and get some separation from Jokic, because Jokic is on his heels when it comes down to MVP. Tonight you're going against the defending champs that have been playing some great basketball, Jason Tatum, who's probably in the MVP conversation, his home court, and now you got a chance to make a statement. No J-Dub, you got to stand on business.
Do you know how to do the Thriller? Can you do the Thriller?
I'll show you later.
Okay. You mentioned no J-Dub. We know, though, no matter how dominant a team looks in the regular season, to get to the finals, right, Perk, you're going to need health on your side. So for the latest, let's bring in our senior insider, Shams Charania, beaming in from Chicago. Shams, Kristaps Porzingis, he's missed the last 6 games here for Boston. What more can you tell us about when he could potentially return to the floor?
Malika, the Celtics are really taking it day by day with Kristaps Porzingis and this viral illness that he has. They don't quite know when he's going to return. And honestly, they don't quite know exactly what has led to this viral illness. They're still trying to get to the bottom of what exactly this is. But I am told they hope to have some medical answers here in the next couple of days to see exactly what this is and when he could return to the floor.
Of course, we've seen him warming up ahead of some games, but just hasn't been able to play. Again, this will be his 7th game missed here. I do want to shift to the Thunder side of this. Jalen Williams has been ruled out for tonight's game because of a hip strain, which sounds a little bit painful. What can you tell us about his status here, Shams?
Yeah, Jalen Williams is not expected to miss an extended period of time. He stayed back in Oklahoma City to continue rehab and start the return process from that hip strain. There is optimism, Malika, that he will be back here relatively soon, which is really good news for the Oklahoma City Thunder for their all-star forward.
Absolutely. Back sooner rather than later. Hopefully same with you, Shams. Thank you so very much for giving us those updates here on NBA Countdown. But J-Dub has done sort of everything, Brian. At different points, he was playing center for Oklahoma City this year. This is only going to be the 5th game the Thunder have been without him all season long. How do they overcome not having him?
As soon as they announced yesterday he wasn't making the trip to Boston, the Celtics absolutely downshifted their game plan into keeping the ball away from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mentioned on Monday this is what Denver did in the second half when he was out. That is the way you deal with this force that is Shai, because he is such the centerpiece of their offense. He has a big lift, and the Nuggets just wouldn't let him keep or get the ball. They were determined to let everybody else try to do it, and frankly, the Thunder struggled with it. Now they know what to do. They've seen this before, Perk, but just because you've seen it before doesn't mean that you're comfortable with it. And if there's one thing you could prick at with the Thunder team and their championship hopes, it's that secondary offensive option. And now they're not going to have their best secondary option.
Not to mention the minutes when SGA is off of the floor, which have been a struggle even when J-Dub is on them.
No, I get it. But this is a moment, right? This is a moment for a certain individual to impact this game. And it's not SGA, right? He's going to do his things and he's going to shine, on the stage like he always do. But this is a moment for Chet Holmgren, right? Think about this before his injury. We was having a debate or a discussion whether or not he was the second best player on this team, and one could make the case that he was. And now since coming back off his injury, yes, he has to get his legs up under him. But without J-Dub, for a short period of time, especially tonight, this is a time for OKC to utilize Chet Holmgren, whether that's in the big lineup, small lineup, power forward, however you want to slice it and dice it. He's too versatile. He's too good not to feature him in the offense.
Chet's been averaging 13 points since he returned from injury here. I am curious, though, who that creator is, because that's not exactly Chet's game, and that's going to be something that they're going to be looking for tonight. We could also...
Chào cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng. Vòng hôm nay của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là quả lê. Mọi người, hôm nay tiêu đề mình có là quả bưởi. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu làm nhé.